The ancient pyramids of Egypt are a commonplace global landmark for all human beings, and as mysterious and awe-inspiring as the recorded 120 pyramids of Egypt are, they are but a small fraction of the currently uncountable pyramids and pyramidal structures across planet Earth. With pyramids publicly recorded in places like the rest of Northern Africa, Austria, France, and the astronomical amount that rests in Mesoamerica, as well as India, China, and even an ancient city underwater involving pyramidal architecture off the shores of Japan. However, there are many researchers and eyewitnesses who claim that the public knows of only a fraction of the pyramids on the globe, and that these are being actively hidden from the masses in places like Bosnia, China, the wilderness of Ontario, or anywhere depending on who your sources are. One might expect to find some surprising hidden structures, like a pyramid beneath the water made of glass in the Bermuda Triangle, Alaska's Dark Pyramid, or pyramids caked in snow hidden in the mountains, which is quite a tantalizing claim, with both Charles Hapgood's and Graham Hancock's research showing that there have been some seriously underreported fossils of vegetation in Antarctica. While many think these structures are merely speculative, the search for a giant pyramid beneath ice sheets suggests that these structures are very real, just extremely well hidden, hinting at an ancient civilization frozen in time. Join us as we embark on an extraordinary expedition to uncover the hidden mysteries buried beneath 4,600 feet of ice in Antarctica. Antarctica is the epitome of the unknown. Nearly 98% of the ground is covered by an ice sheet up to 3 miles thick, a mountain as towering as Japan's Mount Fuji at 12,400 feet would not even break the surface. Temperatures regularly fall below -50 degrees Fahrenheit with winds of up to 200 miles per hour. Its extreme conditions and inaccessible terrain have made it a challenging subject for study, preserving its secrets under a thick blanket of ice that has not melted for millions of years. This isolation has spurred countless theories about what lies beneath the surface, from ancient artifacts of lost civilizations to evidence of alien visitation and hidden military installations. Suspicion aroused more and more when the Antarctic Treaty, which designates Antarctica as a scientific preserve, banned military activity on the continent, and promoted international cooperation in scientific research, was signed in 1959. While the treaty is hailed as a landmark of peace and collaboration, it also restricts unauthorized travel and exploration, fueling conspiracy theories about what governments might be hiding. The stringent control over access to certain areas has led some to speculate about secret bases, covert research into alien technologies, or archaeological digs uncovering civilizations that could rewrite the history of human development. Thus, despite the challenges posed by the icy wilderness, intrepid explorers continue to push the boundaries of human knowledge, venturing beyond the ice wall with a desire to unravel the mysteries that lie hidden beyond the icy veil. And what they found was astonishing. Researchers have found fossils and remnants of ancient life forms that once thrived when Antarctica was part of the supercontinent Gondwana and enjoyed a much warmer climate around 574 million years ago. When animal life first began on Earth, initially in the marine environment, Antarctica lay along what is now Australia's southern margin. Australia and Antarctica were rotated 90 degrees from where they are today. The equator ran through both continents about 400 million years ago. Gondwana moved dramatically, and Antarctica took its place over the South Pole. The carbon dioxide content of the atmosphere was much higher than it is now. As the oxygen content grew, it reached the stratosphere and was converted to ozone. The ozone provided protection from ultraviolet rays, and life spread from the ocean to the land. About 130 million years ago, Gondwana began to disintegrate. India, South America, and Africa broke away. The links between Australia and Antarctica remained until about 55 million years ago. Australia began moving north quickly, and Antarctica was isolated for the first time since animals evolved. About 30 million years ago, the Southern Ocean began to circulate around the southern world, and the modern Antarctic environment evolved. fossils from now extinct Glossopteris trees are well preserved in Antarctica. The concept of Gondwana was first proposed to explain the widespread distribution of glacial rocks and Glossopteris. When Robert Falcon Scott and his men were found dead in their tent on the way back from the South Pole, specimens of Glossopteris from the Beardmore Glacier region were found with them. While they had jettisoned almost everything else on the way back, they recognized the importance of the Glossopteris and refused to leave the specimens behind. These specimens are around 280 to 300 million years old. Many elements that still exist in some southern hemisphere cold-temperate rainforests, such as in Tasmania, New Zealand, and southern South America, used to be present in Antarctica. It is clear that these elements continued in Antarctica until about 35 million years ago. But there are other tantalizing pieces of evidence to suggest that it continued until much more recently. Abundant remains of the southern beach, Nothofagus, have been found only 400 kilometers from the South Pole. Dinosaurs lived in Antarctica and are well known from the northern tip of the Antarctic Peninsula. Although few have been described formally, they include ankylosaurs, the armored dinosaurs, mosasaurs, and plesiosaurs, both marine reptilian groups. Seymour Island, just off the Antarctic Peninsula, is one of the most important fossil sites on Earth. It contains a bewildering array of different fossils representing many different environments. It also includes one of the very few uninterrupted sections across the Cretaceous-Tertiary boundary, the time when dinosaurs and many other life forms died out, probably due to meteorite or asteroid impact. Marine Plain in the Vestfold Hills has a great diversity of fossils from 4.5 to 4.1 million years ago. The best known are the fossil dolphins and whales. About 5 or 6 species are known. The dolphins are very different. From anything that lives today and have to be assigned to extinct genera. The whales are more like modern species, but seem to have preferred colder water. So it's clear that even in more recent times, Antarctica had a much milder climate than it does today, which is why it supported these sorts of organisms. It has a large lake, Lake Vostok, which is one of the largest lakes in the world and one of the deepest. It is buried under about 4 kilometers of ice, and the ice has not been melted for at least 400,000 years. So it provides a unique opportunity to look at the history of Antarctic climate. Lake Vostok has a surface area about the size of Lake Ontario, and it is about half a kilometer deep. It is also a subglacial lake buried under about 4 kilometers of ice. So it is a very unusual environment. It's been isolated from the atmosphere for at least 400,000 years, and possibly for several million years. It is very much like the environment of Europa, one of the moons of Jupiter, so the study of Lake Vostok might give us insights into the sorts of environments that we might expect to find on other planets or satellites in the solar system. In 1959, the International Geophysical Year, a team of Soviet scientists in Antarctica discovered the presence of a large subglacial lake beneath Vostok Station in the middle of the East Antarctic ice sheet. They called it Lake Vostok. It is one of the largest subglacial lakes in Antarctica, covering an area of 14,000 square kilometers and containing about 5,400 cubic kilometers of water, making it one of the largest lakes in the world by volume. Lake Vostok has been isolated from the atmosphere for millions of years and has remained liquid due to the immense pressure from the overlying ice sheet, as well as the heat generated by geothermal activity at the bedrock beneath the ice. It is believed that the lake has been completely sealed off from the outside world for at least 15 million years, making it an ideal environment for the study of ancient microbial life and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Subglacial lakes like Lake Vostok are of great interest to scientists because they may contain unique ecosystems and hold clues to the Earth's past climate and geological history. Researchers have drilled ice cores into the ice sheet above Lake Vostok to collect samples of water and ice from the lake below. Analysis of these samples has revealed a diverse array of microorganisms living in the extreme conditions of the subglacial environment, including bacteria, archaea, and other single-celled organisms. These microorganisms are adapted to low temperatures, high pressures, and limited nutrients, and they may provide insights into the limits of life on Earth and the potential for life on other planets and moons. In addition to microbial life, scientists have also found evidence of complex organic molecules, such as amino acids and fatty acids, in samples from Lake Vostok. These molecules are the building blocks of life and may have formed through chemical reactions between water and rock at the bedrock interface beneath the ice sheet. The discovery of organic molecules in the subglacial environment of Lake Vostok suggests that similar chemical processes may occur on other icy bodies in the solar system, such as Europa and Enceladus, where subsurface oceans may exist beneath the icy crust. Studying Lake Vostok and other subglacial lakes in Antarctica may therefore provide important insights into the potential for life elsewhere in the universe.